This is Ken Goes Live. I'm Ken Napzok. We are live here on Twitch, uploaded later to YouTube, and we've got a fun show for you today here on Ken Goes Live, because that's what I am, that's who I am, and it's what I do. I go live. We've got a special guest joining the show in a little bit. Phil Svitek is back for making a movie outside the boundaries of this fine country, and he has got some great advice. I believe and I trust he's got some great advice for all of us to help pick a goal or two for the new year and maybe how to go about doing it. And then we'll talk about when he comes back, how he's going to help us on making those goals and dreams a reality. Good stuff coming there. We also are going to be talking about life lessons that I picked up from two recent rock docs that I absolutely loved. We're going to say goodbye to John Madden, man. That was a bummer, but we're going to talk about that first. So people are popping in here. Captain Lobot just had dinner. It's always good when a cyborg with brain implants has a good dinner. David Taylor is here. We got some questions from David, and Vermont Mike's here. And we got a question from the wonderful Vermont Mike, Channel 19, aka David is here as well. Jay Granberg checking in as well. I mentioned it's an actual rainy day. Scotty is here as well for the Bombad cast there, as is Trey. I'm just going to roll call. It's like I'm like a second grade teacher. Who's here today? It's a rainy day in Burbank, and I'll start by saying this. I understand why people make fun of Southern Californians and other parts of the country and the world and saying, oh, you think it's cold out there. Let me tell you something. You to me, it's cold today. It's a cold, freezing rain. And I know our blood is not built for it, but we are allowed to say it's cold today. We got up in the front of the house here. Grace has a portable little electric stove I got her for Christmas, like electric fireplace, not stove. I guess you could cook something on it. And she's got that thing fired up. We got the floor heater going today. The big old, we live in a house built in 1920. So we got a heater that we have to have a special crew come out and light every year. And then Baxter, our Chihuahua, wrapped in 3 blankets. I'm going to say it's cold. We're allowed to say it's cold, but the studio's fine here. We got some people checking in. Crafted Jedi is here as well. Thanks for watching here live on Twitch. That's where I love broadcasting live. And Jedi Pawn Shop just subscribe to us here on Twitch. We really appreciate that. Senior Film is here, but it's great. It's great. Senior Film on Twitter is actually called Nilo1994 Valdez. I learned that the other day. I just call him Senior Film, and I've met him. Daniel Media says 50 degrees here. That's SoCal -5. It's like I could do an actual live weather check on the old trusty app. See where it is. It's 50 degrees right now. It was 40 in the 40s earlier today, and like I said, it's a cold, it's a chilled thing. Oh, I want to share this. Look at this. Sorry. He's not in the chat yet there. Look at this gift I got. Christmas gift I got from the wonderful Hillbilly Scribs, Jeff Saunders himself. This is like it's like the Black Series version of Bigfoot. Love this. I'm not yet taking it out of the package, and you all know I'm ready to search for Bigfoot. Everyone's checking in. Lauren Romo is here as well from the Galactic Broadcast. And hey, look, I know some of you might be tuning in. You said, hey, Ken, it's Ken, and he's going live. Is he going to talk about that Boba Fett program? I am going to talk about that Boba Fett program on the place where I talk about Star Wars, Force Center. We do have the Book of Boba Fett report. Chapter 1 is up. A good 2-hour conversation between Joseph and I on the deep themes in that episode. I will say this. I absolutely love that episode. I loved it actually more than I loved Mando season 1 at the beginning of Mando season 1. I really loved it. I love Star Wars tone poems, and I love the deep themes, and it's life lessons to take from it. I guess I'm getting older, and I just want life lessons, because you get to a point. I'm 45 now. You get a point. You're just like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything, which is one of the things we're going to get to today. Right up top, we do this thing that we call the things, and these are the things on my mind. All right, what is on my mind? Rock docs. You guys know I love my rock docs. That's why I have the show Pop Rockin' Radio. I think I'll be back this week with some programming. I unexpectedly went to a little hiatus, but the title of the show is Lessons from Gaga and Sparks. What does that mean? What is that about? I'll tell you what it's about. I finally sat down to watch 2 rock documentaries that I've been waiting to watch, and one, I'll be honest, was just battered over the head and told to watch by this guy, old handsaw. Man, Rock Dogs. Journal, there will be spoilers about the Rock Dogs. You better believe there'll be spoilers about the Rock Dogs. Ron mails a treasure. Yeah. So here is what I finally did is I sat and watched Lady Gaga, 5'2", and the documentary about the Sparks by Edgar Wright, the Sparks Brothers, the band Sparks. And I just wanted to, like an old style Napzok Files podcast. I was moved by both these docs. Cried. Look, I cry pretty easily. Let's be honest. Yankees won the World Series in 1996. I bawled like a baby. I didn't cry anymore after that, though. I don't know why. I got so used to the Yankees winning, I have to admit, I stopped being emotional about it. I cry at commercials. I cry at you serve me a good taco, and I'm going to cry. So maybe it's not anything to say that I cry, but I was moved. More than cry. I was moved, and I was inspired by these two documentaries about these artists. Lady Gaga has been around for a long time now. We know, right? It's weird how time flies. It seems like just yesterday, paparazzi and Poker Face were entertaining us all, or confusing us all, or making us have thoughts we didn't quite understand yet about who this artist was. And I always talk about. From my perspective, I'm an older guy, and then I was a lot younger. Man, I remember those days. But I love rock music. I was a rock DJ in the 90s. And I learned a lesson with the Spice Girls that I apparently always forget. And that's that don't be that person. And especially looking at you old rock guys. Don't be that person that just immediately shuts off your soul and your heart and your mind to an artist, a musical artist that you don't immediately gravitate to, or you don't fully understand, or you just don't respect their audience and that honest audience's point of view. You might never eventually go on to be a big fan of them. I don't know if I'll ever be a giant Taylor Swift fan, but at some point I got to stop sitting up there, pushing my glasses to my face and going, that young artist is dumb and stupid. And if you're moved by it, you're silly. And my music is the best. We're going to have our music. We all search songs in the key of our soul. That I understand. But I was guilty of that with Gaga when she first showed up. And why not? She's just this big, vibrant character. If you don't fully understand, you're not gonna be pulled in by it. But over time, beyond the music and recognizing she's talented, I think that the icicle around my soul toward her as an artist started to melt around the time she hosted Saturday Night Live. And I remember watching that, and she sat down at the piano, and just everything I thought about her, I realized was wrong. And this is a truly talented person, doing the art that she wants to do and controlling her own narrative as best she can in this world that is full of narratives that just spiral out of control fast. So I'm watching 5'2", finally, which is I think a 2017 doc, and it's been out there for a while, but it was one of those things where I just finally had some time to sit down and I watched it over the course of 2 nights. And it focuses a lot about her going in and coming out of the Joanne recording sessions, going into the Super Bowl halftime show, the one the Simpsons predicted a long time ago. And that in itself is fascinating. It's a fly on the wall kind of doc. But I was just blown away by this world famous artist who has this strong determination to be herself and be herself at all times, and how much she knows herself, but she's always willing to change everything around her, not change her core, but change what she wants to put out into the world. And it's interesting to go watch her go from paparazzi, Poker Face, meet dress Gaga, and have it turned into this new kind of album, different style. A Million Reasons is a big single. Love that song, but they do cover, even when that song comes out, that people are like, what is this? What is this crap? This is not what we want the techno dance pop songs that we were familiar with. And how audiences do, you get pulled in by one thing, or what you think one thing is about the content that you love. And then as an audience, you might stick with it. And here's Gaga trying to push herself forward and having full commitment to it. And she really exposed herself, her battle with health problems. She has that hip injury. Was it the lupus that she battles with, which is a family history, which is what the title of the album Joanne is about. Her was it her aunt that passed away? Grandma's sister, I think, passed away. Great aunt. And I just loved watching her go all out for that. And she's such on a scale larger than me. I'm just this silly podcaster in Burbank, California. I'm not an artist on that scale, but it is also isn't about being an artist. It's also about what your line of work is. You know, if you're going to dig ditches, be the best ditch digger in the world, that old statement we've all grown up with, I think that applies to that. You don't just have to want to be a pop artist, a singer songwriter, to appreciate what Gaga's putting out there about, again, this commitment and determination to always be herself, but leave blood on the tracks in committing to what she's trying to do. And to also was really impressed to see someone finally, again, I'm 4 years late on this doc, which is on me for not embracing it earlier, but understanding her position, which is a giant pop star, a pop culture icon, and knowing what she can do with that position to both help and how that can communicate her art and communicate her art with purpose. And the meat dress and all that stuff early on, that becomes even before memes were giant, popular all across the world on the internet. The pop culture zeitgeist, the collective water cooler we're all at. It's easy to go, that's the meat dress girl. To not understand that's her trying to, especially as a woman in that industry and a woman in this world, to control her own narrative, to use what we're probably going to think of her, to kind of control what she wants to put out there, and control herself, and make a statement and make it with purpose. And I was just moved and inspired by that as well. And just to see her relationship with her fans, she's pretty open and honest about that as well. And from there, I was like so chuffed. I was feeling it. I was like, this is a great rock doc. I was like, you know what? I'm finally here. I'm finally here to live up to old Handsaw's old Handsaw. There he is. Gaga was off my radar until Weezer did a cover of Poker Face. Oh, actually, that's a great point. I want to talk about that old Handsaw. This happens a lot, and it's okay that it happens a lot. I guess, it would take a bunch of, rock white nerds from Weezer to cover the song to make you appreciate Gaga. That's fine. That's why over the years I had grew to have an appreciation of Britney Spears, because Travis covered Baby One More Time. And Travis being one of my favorite bands, saw them open for Oasis a couple times. That's how you're exposed to them. That's fine. That's fair. Because then, in a way, we need them to speak to us because it strips away what we might think of the artist. If I'm thinking of Gaga as this techno pop princess in a meat dress, and I'm stopping at that door, again, that's on me. But Weezer comes along and breaks down the song and does a version that you can connect with. And I think that's fine. I think that's fair. It's our choice to grow from that. But old Handsaw has been telling me for a while. He's been saying for a while, look, you have got to watch this rock doc about the Sparks. Now, I've been familiar enough with the Sparks. They had a little bit of a revival or move to the front of the pack in the mid-'90s, and I was working at KBR 95 when that happened. Their music, it's hard to describe, which is one of the themes of this doc. They started in the late 60s, influenced by a lot of bands that you would expect them to be influenced by in the late 60s. California boys, but Anglophiles in their hearts. So Beatles, Who, all those kind of bands have some have influences there. But there's a wit and a humor and just a raw openness to their music that you might not initially connect with. They've been around now for over 40 years, still going strong. I think 73 and 76, Russell and Ronald are. So they are absolutely unique. You might not know them, but you might have seen pictures. That's them now. Russell there and Ron, and then that's them back in the day. And that's even not back in the day. That's late 70s, early 80s era, Russell and Ron. Two brothers from California, Culver City area, Santa Monica area, just out there making their music. And this is the one, and I gotta publicly apologize to my friend Old Handsaw there, Sean Arnold. Go check out his TeePublic shop. I think it was Christmas Eve, was DMing him on Discord, just go almost beat by beat. It's a 2.5 hour documentary. And like every 5 minutes, I was like, oh, this is getting, oh my God. And he took it with a grain of salt, and absolutely love that. Thank you, Old Handsaw, for letting me do that. Blown away by them. And it's similar to the way with Gaga and but even more some specific things to being on YouTube and being in the digital media space, even though that's not what they are. The first thing is this idea of them as artists always wanting to push forward and always willing to not just try something new, but change, not just change for the sake of change, but to challenge themselves and push their art forward. Again, do I consider myself an artiste? No. Do you out there consider yourself an artiste? No. But you're a human being with thoughts and perspectives and opinions and experiences. And I love and I'm obsessed as I get older with the idea of pushing yourself forward, changing, growing, look at things a new way, but also remaining true to yourself. Going back to what I was saying about Gaga, the Sparks brothers, Ronald and Russ Mael, are always true to themselves, and they have this thing, what I describe as head down until morning, where they have watched so many other bands that have come up with them, that they've worked with, that they've influenced. There's a long list of bands that have been influenced by Sparks, whether they even know it or not, who have gone on to great success. But Sparks didn't let that get them down. It didn't stop them from working head down until morning. They're influential, but they're thankful. They have a good sense of themselves. I'm a big fan of the band The Replacements and Paul Westerberg, who is a famous rock and roll grump. He's one of those people I love dearly. I don't ever want to meet. The stories of meeting Paul Westerberg don't go well for the people that meet him, which I understand. I'm a grump too, but if you ever meet me in the public, like at a donut shop, you can say hi. I'll say hi back. Westerberg and the Replacements, the Mats, are another influential band that never hit the success. They're heralded, much heralded, influential, like I said, but they never hit the success that a lot of bands that were directly influenced by them hit, including Goo Goo Dolls in the mid-90s, but they always had a replacement sound of a lot of different eras. Nirvana actually had a lot of early Matt sounds. In fact, World Class Fad from Paul Westerberg's first solo album is a thinly veiled shade song at Kurt Cobain from the early 90s. And Westerberg was always grumpy about it. But watching this doc and watching how many people were in the documentary speaking, and not just musicians, but comics and writers and directors and fashion designers, just watching these people speak about the Sparks brothers and how that never, and how many of them, again, gone on to greater levels of success than Sparks, and that never got them down. But how hard that was for them, but they never stopped to complain about it. That's where I need to work on. And maybe that's all what we all need to work on. It's keeping up with the Joneses, right? We can get buried by that. We can get buried by that, by what's going on in our world now. You can look outside your walls and be just brought down, head down until morning. There was a point in the early 90s where Sparks as a band had just commercially failed out after so many attempts and so many close calls and so many minor hits. Movies almost made. Tim Burton was going to make a movie with them. Spoiler alert: Sparks Brothers are behind a musical that's out now. We'll talk about that in a second. And their drummer at their time, the drummer in the mid 90s, she was on in the doc, and she starts talking about Ronald Russell during that era and how they only survived because they had been smart with their money during some other periods of minor success. If they didn't do that, they would have had to go away. They would have had to do something else. They would not have survived as creatives, as artists, as just trying to get your next meal. But they still every day head down until morning, went in to the office, their home studio, to work and to continue to work. And that led to a little bit of a mid-90s revival, if you will. And she starts, as she's telling the story, she breaks down in tears. And I started breaking down in tears as well. I'm in this digital media space that is full of content, full of content styles and choices to make. And I quite frankly, at times fail to get the attention of those that have come after me, those that have come along with me, or those that came before me. And sometimes I can get caught up in that. Sometimes I get really beat down about that idea, about what I'm putting out there and what ears it's not hearing, what art it's not hitting. And so I was breaking down to that moment too, of just watching these brothers, knowing what they want to do and knowing that they constantly want to push themselves forward. I've said it before. I've said in other places. I could have easily just continued to do the Schmoes Know movie news and do my 3-minute news segments and do my, snarky little jokes. And I'm sure that would have been fine. That didn't move my needle anymore, and I wanted to keep pushing forward. I could talk about movies. I'm not moved by movies too much if it's not Star Wars or Young Guns, quite frankly. And it sometimes just breaks my soul to keep having to push forward. And I'm sure you out there probably felt that too, of something you want to do that's just not working, but all your heart is into it. And this documentary really pushed me forward to really focus on that idea of head down until morning. Do your work. Don't pay attention to everything else around you. Don't even fault the trend chasers. Just do what you want to do as an artist. Sparks got lost in the wake of so many because they just want to do their art, not chase those trends. And they gave and they continue to give so much of themselves in their art. And I just found that inspiring. So I just want to talk about that today. That's what we do in the show. Sometimes it's silly, stupid things, and sometimes it's the things on my mind. And lessons from the Sparks brothers, Ronald and Russell, lessons from Lady Gaga, who just gave absolutely her all in that doc. It's a good thing for me to watch at the end of the year. A good thing to try to move me forward. And hopefully, if you, whether or not you're in a rock and roll pop duo or you're a singing, dancing pop music machine, maybe you can find something in that to connect with as well. That's all. That's all I wanted to share on that one. A little food for thought. We'll be right back. On the other side, we're going to pay our respects to one of the greatest coaches, not just in football, but for all of us in life. But first, I'm not going to review Matrix 4. It never rains in California. Son of a... God bless it. What do I have to review now? Matrix 4? I haven't seen a Matrix. Not Matrix 4. I haven't seen a Matrix. Look, man, 1999 was a weird year for me. I didn't leave my house much, okay? I didn't have a lot of friends. I stayed in an apartment in Canoga Park. I was afraid to step outside. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't see Matrix. The thing is that a lot of people don't talk about this, but in 1999, the Matrix starred Keanu Reeves, who at that point was the surfer dude who tried to do Shakespeare in the mid-90s, and we all made fun of him. Bill and Ted guy, Point Break guy, suddenly he was trying to be a real actor doing a Kenneth Branagh Shakespeare movie, and we all made fun of him for like a decade. But joke's on us, because it turns out he's like the perfect human. I'm telling you, we as a society owe big apologies to Keanu Reeves and Guy Fieri. Can't read my poker face. Guy Fieri restaurants are for the people, by the people. They cut out the pretense, they cut out the bull roar, and they just give you the food they want with a sense of fun. And you all made fun of Guy. You all made... Can't read my poker face. Are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? I can't review a movie I haven't seen, but apparently, seeing the reviews of this fourth Matrix, a lot of the people did see the movie, didn't even understand it. Ha ha! Point Kenny. Zing. Here's the thing. Stop asking, but how? But how? The movie didn't answer my but how questions. Ask why. What was the artist trying to tell you? What's the movie trying to communicate to you? It's pretty simple. This is why I can't succeed on YouTube. This is why I won't succeed on YouTube. I thought I patched that hole. I hope those that enjoyed the Matrix movie, the fourth one, I hope you just continue to enjoy it. I hope you continue to get inspiration from it. And if you didn't like it, by the way, you don't have to like these films. That's completely fine. But then you go around with a sense of authority and what you think the movie failed to deliver, when really you're just asking the wrong questions. All right, Ken, you have got to stop talking about other YouTube movie reviewers on the internet. All right, you're gonna blow a gasket and you're gonna have another heart attack. Your doctor said 3 a year tops. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to Target. It's so good. It's so good. But it's slowly killing me over the course of my lifetime. What? Yes, this is a Mustang. Pretty cool, I know. So there you go. I don't know what else to tell you. You want me to rate the movie? Again, I haven't seen the movie. All right. It's 4 out of 5 trench coats. It's 4 out of 5 Try understanding what other people's perspectives are in the world and what they're trying to tell you. And you've got go picture, kid. I get him hard, show him what I got. I get him hard, show him what I got. I'm poker face. There you have it, my non-review of Matrix. Coming up shortly, Phil Svitek's going to be in here. We're going to talk about goals in the new year. We got your questions. Look at that guy from New York that keeps calling in, Johnny M. He's on the line as well shortly. I just would be remiss if I didn't, for 1 second at least, pay my respects to one of the people that I grew up watching in many different kind of mediums, but especially in football. John Madden, NFL Hall of Fame coach, announcer, passed away age 85. And man, Madden, of course, started out, really hit the national scene as a coach of the Raiders, the Super Bowl winning coach of the Raiders. But so many of us grew up with him and the late, great Pat Summerall as a wonderful, to call him a football announcer doesn't even just to take all of the things that he was into an account. If you grew up during that time, and yes, he was active until not too long ago. He and Al Michaels on Sunday Night Football, so a lot of people do know him. But man, he was just everywhere, including almost cast as Coach in Cheers. I often wonder. I love the decision they ended up making with Coach in Cheers. Rest in peace, Coach. But I often wonder what would have happened if that had gone that way with the original casting. He just was the Madden bus, Madden football on any so many video game systems. I think we all were touched by him in some way. Mark Ellis and I talk, and Mark and I, unless we're on a comedy stage together, we don't talk to each other outside of that. We're not really super close friends. Mark and I we're talking often, and we talked about it on the DC trip too, of just there's so many great announcers and broadcasters out there, and they're still out there, but they're becoming few and far between. And Madden and Summerall, and well as Al Michaels, they're just people that, Mark and I and others grew up watching, and that influenced how we broadcast now. And this isn't me. I love everything changing in styles and mediums changing and how we get the content out there. But I just see a lack of broadcasting out there so much because I just think a lot of people, a lot of generations did not grow up, and you don't have to be a sports fan, but just did not grow up taking in the Maddens, the Summeralls, the Michaels, the Cronkites, the Brokaws, the Jennings, the Coppels. It's a unique skill. And Madden superseded any box, any the skill set that he was coaching, broadcasting. He superseded all of that. He was a larger-than-life personality, a definite influence of me and a lot of folks. So, cheers to you, Coach. That was a good run. That was a good run, and we'll see you on the other side. Some questions coming up here shortly. I want to address the Star Drew's here. Love Star Drew here. Ken, you were a disc jockey in, he said disc jockey in 1999. About to say, I was not a disc jockey in 1999. I got laid off from K-Bear 95 in 1998, and in 1998, August 98, I moved to LA. And in 1999, when Matrix, the first Matrix came out, I didn't like leaving the house too much, but also I got a little defensive. People loving the Matrix more than loving Phantom Menace, and I got a little defensive. And as you know, I'm a big prequelist, love the prequels. But back then, I was on a different journey with them, to discovering the themes and what George was telling us all in them. And I got defensive, and I wasn't going to watch some leather, action adventure hero played by the Shakespeare guy. Maybe that was a mistake there, but also got me thinking too. Gaga, Sparks, George Lucas, kind of all in that same vein of artists who are going to do what they want to do and tell their stories and change and evolve, and how that can sometimes cost them. And I think it did as with George and the prequels, but different show, different conversation. Also, if you, again, want to talk Star Wars, I'm not going to do it here. Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1, Force Center. It's out there if you want to get it. All right. Here we go. I'm excited to bring a guest here on the show. He is a good friend I've known in this digital media space. He's one of the good presences. He's a good presence in this space, but also influential as well. He has coached and guided many in this digital talking space. And I love what he does on his YouTube channel. I love what he puts out there into the world. Please welcome to Ken Goes Live, my friend, Phil Svitek, filmmaker, creative coach, and my buddy, Phil. What's up, Phil?
Hey. Ken, I can't hear you on my side. This
Oh,
is perhaps because I'm new to Streamlabs, but
okay.
just giving you a heads up.
Go into the settings.
I'll keep talking on my side, sure. So Ken had asked me to figure out how to help you guys, with your goals for 2022. And so I figured I'd, keep it real simple. First off, I would say write out 3 categories that you want to focus on, right? So it can be relationships, it could be health, mind, body, work, projects, finances, your home, whatever sort of categories that are important to you in your life. Focus on write out those and pick 3 of them. You'll see a theme of 3 reoccur here. Then, under each of these categories that you've made, be as inventive, imaginative as you can, and write out any achievements, accomplishments that you would like for those categories, right? Make it as exhaustive as you possibly can. Get inventive. No dream is too big or too small here, okay? Then step number 3 is within each of those categories to circle the top 3 that you're most excited about, right? So do that. Then, for the ones that you circled, start to think of 3 immediate action steps in those categories that you can do within 14 days. And this is key, right? Because a lot of times we make these goals, but we don't create the action steps to enact those goals. So I want to get you going within 14 days. So what can you do immediately to take a step forward, right? And part of that is also to, a big goal, right? It's that proverbial cliche, 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step. So we're trying to just take that first step in the new year. And then the last part is also key, but the rest of the stuff that you did not circle, right? Take those and you're going to put them on a separate list, and you're going to call this a don't do list. This is what throws people off. These are distractions, right? And because now you don't want to overwhelm yourself, right? At the end of the day, we all have to make choices. And, if these are your top 3 that you're, in each category that you're most excited about, focus on those. And it's not to say that you can never return to the ones that are on your don't do list, but hold them off until you complete the ones that are actually on your list. I think, we get so overwhelmed by, what some might say like opportunity and so forth. It's like, oh, this sounds exciting. This sounds exciting. And then we end up all over the place. Instead, we got to hone in and just really focus on. That's why, I've kept it to, 3 things within 3 categories with 3 immediate action steps. So that's why the 3 is important. So that's kind of a long and short of, how to tackle the new year right.
Love that. I don't know if Phil can hear me yet. I gave him some instructions.
I still can't hear you, but
you still can. Look at the phone. Look at the phone. But while Phil's here, and hopefully he can connect with us, this is big stuff for me going into the new year. I used to, on the Napzok Files show, used to do things about goals and resolutions, and resolutions and dreams are fun, but I always say make them your goals. But that can be absolutely overwhelming. So I appreciate Phil talking about that idea of goals just being picking the ones that you can start working on or make steps towards in the first 14 days. And hey, maybe that includes going to the gym. We all want to do that, right? But it's going to fade away. It's just the way life is going to work. Phil is feverishly typing there. See if he can. I'll go to a solo layout while he works there. But yeah, so if anyone in chat is enjoying, this is the kind of stuff I also want to bring to Ken Goes Live. We're going to be doing some financial advice. My friend Scott Antonucci, real estate advice. My friend Joey Rockenstein, and there's a lot of other people like that I'm going to bring on the show just to have to talk about the stuff. Looks like I'm trying to see. Oh, their mic isn't connected. So that's the issue here going on here. We're live. You're looking live, people, and we're trying to work this on out so I can have some crosstalk here with the wonderful Phil. But we're just all going to stare at Phil. We're all going to stare at Phil. All right, he's going in and he's going out. So if Phil comes back on, we'll talk about that. So if you want to call in the show a little bit later on, if you're a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Napzok, in the Discord, I always drop a link and you can get on StreamYard and you can talk about your goals. All right, let's see if Phil can. How about now?
Now I can hear you.
Oh my God! StreamYard is a little touchy sometimes. It's a little touchy.
All good.
This is great stuff, Phil, and I love you're taking something that is overwhelming by its nature of looking towards the next 12 months, looking at your life and trying to build on something. And I love the steps that you're breaking it down. And I was just saying, you might not have heard, but just the idea of just like things that you can make actual tangible steps towards completing in 14 days is an interesting but important wrinkle, I think, to this idea.
Absolutely. I have, as you were talking about rock docs, this isn't a rock doc, but if you haven't seen it, Roadrunner, it's the Anthony Bourdain documentary.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
What are some of the things you pulled out of that? Some themes that you're applying to your own pursuits and goals for the new year?
I don't know if it's one that you still have to process, right? I saw it a while ago, but obviously Anthony Bourdain being who he was and, just living this extravagant life and always go, go, go. And I think in many ways, it speaks to a lot of us, this workaholism, but what we're really trying to do is just avoid ourselves. But the one thing we can't ever escape is ourselves. And, it led to his decision, and
yeah,
it's tough.
That's the tough one there. But I love drawing inspiration from that there. And you are an artist too that I admire a lot. And when we reconnected a couple of years ago at a screening, we ran into each other. We hadn't really seen or talked to each other in a few years because that's how this town works. You're around someone's orbit for a while. Unless you work to stay in the orbit, you're going to move away from it. And I just love, number one, what you put out there. You're someone who I think both your YouTube content and your YouTube channel, you guys should all be subscribed to Phil Svitek's YouTube channel. I'll drop a link in the description on YouTube tonight. And even your own filmmaking, what you want to do, who you are. You also know the challenges that lie in front of you, and you're going to still take them on, man. So kudos to that. How did the filmmaking go in Colombia? Not Colombia. Yeah, did you go? Where'd you go? I forgot.
We did go to Colombia. It went great. It's a sports term. I don't know if I would ever do it again as an away team because I'd not actually been to Colombia.
Yeah.
So that presents its own challenges, but everyone was game for just doing it, and the people there embraced us, and it was a fantastic time.
Love it. Taking risks, man. I love that. And you and I we're gonna meet soon when we can safely, and we're gonna talk about goals and maybe taking some risks in the coming months and years. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on my list of we talked about some exciting stuff, so we're gonna do it.
On the list. Phil, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We'll have you back on the show. So maybe at the end of January, we'll do a check-in on the show here, and we'll talk about how the goals are going.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Love that. Thank you, Phil Svitek, everybody. Make sure you're following his work, his channel. Go to philsvitek.com. Get more information on all the things he does. Thanks, Phil. All right. That is great. Love Phil. Love what he puts out. Check out his YouTube channel. It's just some good relaxing content too. We talked over at the other show I was doing for a while. Phil popped by and we did some, I thought we talked about some great things. So hopefully you guys can connect out there. David says, thanks, Phil. Definitely not traces. I watched Geo Dreams of Sushi documentary. Instantly changed my outlook on my approach to work. Love when docs give you perspective. Yeah, and again, it doesn't have to be, I wish I was a pop diva performing at the Super Bowl. I wish that. I think I'd be okay with it. I'd get my friend Robbie Smith to coordinate an outfit and a dance, and we'd be good to go. But that's not me. But you can still pull stuff from it. I love finding those kind of inspirations in life. All right, we are going to take some questions here from you guys. We love doing that. It is A's for your cues. And that also means we'll be taking in some live A's for Q's. I got that Johnny M guy checking on in from New York there as well. First question does relate to some of the stuff we've been talking about. David Taylor says, now that you watch the Sparks Brothers documentary, will you now watch their musical Annette starring Grace's and your boy, Adam Driver? I'm going to absolutely do that. I wouldn't describe myself as a huge music fan, but not a musical fan. But doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. But out of just respect for what they've done and how long it took for them to like get a movie out there, you absolutely better believe I'm going to do that. And Adam Driver, to me, you can't lose with Adam Driver. Like I watched that first season of Girls, and I saw some things, but I also saw Adam Driver and thought he was amazing. And that actually, the entire cast of that show is good. I actually did enjoy the first season. Just didn't pick it up for the second season or beyond. And he's my favorite, probably my favorite actor in Star Wars. Love a lot of characters. Love myself some Harrison Ford, some Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and the classics. But I think it's just in terms of watching an actor work for 3 films, Adam Driver's Kylo Ren remains absolutely one of my favorites. All right, another question coming in here, tying into something we were talking about a little earlier. Andre Constantine, I practiced it in the mirror. Constantine, go. Oh, I'm having a stroke on air. Andre says, RIP to the greatest, John Madden. Do you have any memorable Madden memories? Yes, just Sunday afternoons. He didn't do college football. Sunday, oops, what is happening? Oh, I'm having a little bit of a lag here. It's a rainy day in Burbank. Sunday afternoons, just coming home from church and turning on an NFC game and watching Summerall and Madden call like a Cowboys-Giants football game is great. I do have a fun memory, though, that doesn't speak to the quality of Madden as a legendary broadcaster, but does speak to his personality and just how he can get so caught up in the moment. Big Miami Dolphin fan, as you guys know. It's a weird year for us, but like where we're at right now. And it was a Monday night game, and I believe this was back when Ricky Williams was the running back for the Dolphins. And Madden was calling a play and doing his color commentary and his analysis. And he showed 3, holes for the runner. A running back like Ricky Williams is going to get the ball, and he's going to look for a hole to run through made by the offensive linemen. So Madden put they had a graphic, and he had A, B, and C. And Madden explained very loudly in his boom personality that what Ricky Williams wanted to do was plug the A-hole. And he says it, and there's a silence in the booth, and he just keeps going because, boom, it's John Madden. And I'm home laughing. I think a lot of people were laughing. So then they go back to that, the same graphic, the same everything, to recall the play, to reanalyze another Ricky Williams run. But this time they've changed it to gap. And Madden, without saying anything, without referencing it, because he's a pro, just said, what you want to do is you want to find that A gap. That's just one of my favorite memories. Just speaking to his personality, his confidence to adjust on the fly. You don't need to call it out. Just move it forward. And I was dying laughing at plug the A-hole. That's what you want to do as an NFL running back. Plug that A-hole. Man, it was Kyle says always find the A-hole. So I love that memory of John Madden. Makes me laugh, and also again speaks to not everything goes perfect, as you can tell anytime I broadcast. Final question of the prepared questions comes from our friend Vermont Mike. What does your typical New Year's Eve look like? Mine usually involves Sci-Fi's Twilight Zone marathon, watching Trading Places, and dipping anything into beer cheese, says Vermont Mike. Holy moly. I'm not a huge fan of beer, but I do love cheese, and I think I'm going to try beer cheese. I want to know more about this beer cheese. I'll say this. I love New Year's as a spiritual holiday, meaning it is a great turning of the page, and I get behind that a lot. And I'm a sucker for it. I got a sentimental side. People in chat like Lauren Romo will tell you I'm a grump, and I'm a grump. But hot damn, do I love kind of reflecting and looking back looking at all the things we accomplished, looking at things we lost, looking at things we didn't succeed at, looking at those that we lost during the year, and having that 12-month period to kind of collect your thoughts. Life is overwhelming, so I don't mind it being broken up into weird, almost random 12 months to look at. I used to love watching Dick Clark and all that kind of stuff, and now Seacrest out, whatever. I'll watch it. But I don't care as much about that. Just about being with the ones you love and care about, and with what's going on and what's been going on in the world the last couple of years, muted plans. But I think after a while, I've done a couple of New Year's parties, but I'm just never comfortable. It's fun. It's fun to be around friends, but I'm never comfortable with that idea of being out and about on what I would describe as an amateur night. I just jokes aside, just want to be home safe. Just want to be home safe, watching balls drop, because who doesn't like watching balls drop, and celebrating and moving forward. So me, Grace, and Baxter will be on the couch. All right, we got the big answer from Vermont Mike, and then we're going to take a live call here. Vermont Mike has explained that beer cheese is 8 ounces of Velveeta, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 6 to 8 ounces of beer, and a dash of garlic powder. Thank me later. Wow. I got to tell you, that's a lot of cheeses and a lot of beers mixed into one risky taste there. I think I might give that a go. I don't know. Shout out to Senior Film, who also gave out a community sub. We're here live on Twitch. We also will be rebroadcasting here on YouTube as well. And as always, if you want, you can hit that QR code and donate to Morning Drive Media to keep the lights on here. But no need to keep the shows going. I'll be here regardless, but always welcome. Use freshly baked pretzels. We always get to food talk around these parts. We always do. It's always food talk. Here's someone I think we'll probably talk about food. Welcome to the program, Johnny M from Long Island. Johnny M, how you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, Ken. I just had a couple of slices of pizza.
What kind of pizza? Time out. What kind of pizza?
I had a white slice with spinach. And
what'd you say? A wide slice?
A white.
A white. Like a white sauce?
No, like a white cheese. It's got regat cheese and mozzarella.
Gotcha.
And spinach on a triangle slice.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's great. I miss pizza. I miss pizza. I do got a nice Daya non-dairy pizza. Probably having that tomorrow night too. It's I feel like Will Ferrell in Old School. We got a great weekend planned. We're going out to Home Depot. We're gonna get some supplies there. Definitely not Trey is calling Lauren Romo into it. We're always talking about pizza. But Johnny M, what's going on, brother? How you doing out there? What's on your mind? What's the question?
I'm doing good. So first I have a documentary recommendation, but it's not a rock doc.
That's fine.
I was on HBO Max today.
Okay.
And I popped on the Super Bob Einstein Memorial. Which was like Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah,
is how most of the fans know him. It was great. They literally got everybody he ever met, basically.
I'm gonna write that down. It's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max, and they have both his brothers on it. I didn't realize that Albert Brooks' best friend growing up was Rob Reiner, which was incredible to find out.
I did know some of that there. Yeah. Handsaw backs us up there. Albert Brooks's brother. Yeah, and Albert Brooks's real name is Albert Einstein. Bob Einstein, Super Dave. I'm gonna check that out. It's funny you mentioned that too, because for our generation, we're a little north of 31. Super Dave was just one of those weird characters where I didn't know what was real and what wasn't when I was watching it as a kid, but I was entertained and enthralled.
Yeah, and they show a bunch of his bits, and what's great is they have a bunch of comedians reacting to just watching his old bits.
Oh, cool.
Which is just like the best.
They got Larry David on there? They got to get
him. Absolutely. They have Larry, they have everybody from Curb on there. They have Jerry Seinfeld on there, and just soup to nuts. And they have old Smothers Brothers clips with him. Like
yeah.
Oh, and you'll appreciate this. Steve Martin's on there.
Definitely. Then this is gonna be my Saturday afternoon after I'm done with Saturday at Napzok there on New Year's Day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Einstein's his turn on Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of the best. Just kind of out of the blue. Like I remember when he first popped on, it's like Super Dave's on the show, and up until his untimely passing, man, it was great to watch him work.
Oh yeah. I think you're really gonna love this one. I also got to you with a movie review, and I know everyone's doing Matrix and Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I'm going off the beaten path because I watched the movie last night that nobody's talking about.
All right.
So I'm going to give you an exclusive.
Writing this down too. Yeah.
On Paramount Plus, I watched the Reno 911 QAnon movie.
How was that?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was laughing.
I love the Reno Crew, and that was originally on Quibi, right? It was supposed to be on Quibi, the ill-fated Quibi.
I think it was, but it was saved by Paramount Plus, and
okay.
I watched it last night, and I laughed. So
that's good. And I don't, and in this house we don't make fun of Quibi because I can't go into details, but Quibi would, if it had stuck around, would have changed our lives in this house, and it didn't happen. So I'm always disappointed that service, as weird as it was a little weird, went away. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I do love the Reno 911 movie is I want to say it's underrated. People love it, but it doesn't get talked about enough, including The Rock's cameo. I think it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, those are two I think you'll enjoy. And I came to you. You had asked for us to put together life goals, and I was listening to Phil, so I tried to organize them a little bit.
This is great. Phil's advice worked for you.
Yeah, I think so. So I have 3 categories, and I just tried to, as quickly as possible, break it down.
Love this. You were listening. You were taking notes.
Phil's taking notes. I got my trusty pen here. I'm ready to go.
You're doing everything, man. You're doing the Lord's work, and I appreciate that. What do you got?
So my first category is relationships. 2022, as you know, is about new beginnings for me. So whether it's romantic or getting together with friends and kind of self-discovery and all of that, and just chumming around like we did in DC, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem was I needed like an actionable item. So this doesn't really go for the friends, but I'm gonna start downloading dating apps. I think that's an actionable thing I can do.
Yes. Can you keep us updated on Ken Goes Live? It doesn't have to be it's not going to be a giant segment, but I want to know. We can make something out of this where you're not going to show the people, you're not going to show us. But I want an update on how you, a recently divorced man in his mid-40s, navigates the world of dating apps. That's great.
If you want to call it John Swipes Right, I'm all for it.
Love it. Let's make a graphic.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's brave. And look, I know we won't go to the details too much of your life, but every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, as the great Dan Wilson of Semisonic wrote and sang. So it's a weird spot. You're in a brave new world. And I think that's a strong, brave, actionable goal.
Thanks. So then number 2, and it's the theme here is like getting back to me a little bit, right? So
that needs a theme song. Getting back to me.
So
Johnny M from New York.
So number 2 is creative. Was the category.
Creative.
And I went with writing and drawing.
Drawing. What are you Simon in a bathtub?
Yeah, Simon in the bathtub. Just me sketching in the bathtub. but last year I really got back to myself, and this year I got away from it, and I want to get back to it. Next year, I guess.
What's the actionable item?
So the actionable item right now I'm gonna get back into some of Riley's workshops. I've fallen off the bus with that, and that kind of forced me to do some writing. And as far as drawing, I want to do some sketching every week, like just grab my book and knock out some sketches every week.
Every once in a while, a man just needs to grab his book.
Yeah.
So that's what he's got to do. Love that. What's your third one?
Third one is relaxation.
That's big. It's hard for me. I can't relax, man. It's very hard. Christmas Day was about the only time I've relaxed and not done anything in the last 7 to 9 months.
Well, you and I are built very similarly. Like it's work, and then even when it's not work,
I thought you meant stocky and stumble around sidewalks on DC.
Well, that's too. Oddly enough, if we were standing next to each other on a DC corner, the guy would be yelling at both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
So relaxation. My first goal, which I almost made yesterday and beat the year out, but it's gonna have to wait till next year, is a PlayStation 5.
Oh, you're going PlayStation because you've been Xbox in most of your existence, right?
Well, I was PlayStation 2, and then I had some friends talk me into Xbox so we could play Call of Duty, and we don't play Call of Duty for many years now.
Yeah,
so
no, screw that, friend. You're gonna play Red Dead Redemption with me and Ikaika Shively.
So as I phrased it to the girls, I gotta get Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation to save Ken.
I love this. Yes, because I've been attacked on Red Dead Redemption 2 online by dishonorable posses lately. So that's great. And the actual item is you have 14 days to buy it, right?
Yeah. Well, the actual item is I've put on every Twitter feed, like, let me know when it's in stock anywhere.
Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Johnny, you've done the work. You've done the hard part. The easy part is making all these dreams come true.
Yeah.
Right?
And speaking of guys with their books, everyone, if you haven't noticed,
Why We Love Star Wars, the great moments to build the galaxy far, far away by this clown. That's great. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, love having you on the show. No one else wants to call in. By the way, if you're in Discord, if you're a supporter at patreon.com/Napzok and you're watching live on Twitch, the link is there. You just got to get your camera going and sign on in. But you don't have to. You don't have to. We'll get Old Hanson, Lauren Romo, and all those folks. We'll get them on eventually. I love chatting with all of you here. Johnny, stick around. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Hold on. Guess who got brave? Johnny M.
Lauren,
the man himself. I've got to add him to the stream here.
There he is.
Move that annoying lower third. There is Old Hansa, the man who for a long time now has said you've got to watch the documentary on Sparks. Here he is to take credit with some fake fire.
Finally. Well, like I said, I'm just really glad you watched it and you were inspired. You know, it kind of hit me. It's been my probably most watched movie this year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like taking the place of Star Wars for me for a while, where I can just play this movie in the background.
Yeah.
And, there's another good song. Here's another good song. And, it's just a comfort food, in the background.
It really is. I can't recommend enough to those out there. And again, you don't even have to be a fan of Sparks and their music. You don't have to be a fan of rock music, pop music, nothing. It is, are you a person trying to survive and get by and change and grow in this world? And I think you'll find something in it. It's 2.5 hours long, so you can just I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to engage with it again. Absolutely. Well, yeah.
It's inspired me to, just kind of, I'm trying to, I need to start pulling these guys off the wall here and start playing them again.
You're talking about your guitars, not your pictures of the Beatles. Oh, okay.
Beatles too, yeah. Those guitars and actually start playing them again. So
Trey is not wrong. That's a nice
my mic too.
Yeah. I want to hear. Yeah, we need some original music from you, my friend. Some more stuff. You're a very, very talented guy, and the other thing too, what I love, and we're Johnny M and I are in the same age group. Old Hansaw's like, a couple of documentary movies ahead of us, but not too far. I was really inspired too by watching Russell and Ronald still go strong well into their 70s.
Yeah.
And that's a battle I have even with my parents who are in that age group, and they've just kind of begun to power down, which they have that right. I'm just talking about in terms of retiring and taking it a little easy, but just kind of powered down in the sense of, well, I got nothing to offer. And that drives me crazy. And watching those guys, watching Russell in the gym at 73, watching Ronald just kind of go to work and do his thing every day. That was inspiring for me too.
Well, and it's like, we're not going to let a pandemic stand in our way. We're just going to keep just cranking stuff out. And, this was the year of Sparks. It was the documentary. It was the Annette movie. They actually did a solo single with Todd Rundgren, which is actually pretty good. So, I mean, it's all kind of coming together for them. I've actually got tickets to go see them in March. So I'm hoping this Omicron just kind of disappears and I can go see them.
Well, they're on my list to go see too. If I can get them out here. Yeah, we'll see how the.
Well, the one thing I was going to ask you though.
Yeah.
I did have a question.
Okay.
Have you actually been online yet to find a pink jacket?
Well, so yeah. Here's the thing. I do own a denim jacket that is the shade of pink that everyone in that band wears now. But it is when you order things online from like a shady clothing store on like Amazon or something, and it's like the sizes may vary. I'm on the husky side. I'm like a Gamorrean guard in Boba Fett. And, so I'm going to always maybe angle to extra large if I need it. But last couple of years, I got back down to a large. So occasionally I get confident and overconfident. And I had bought a jacket that was a large and it showed up another color. And it was like, oh, this is more of a medium. So for the pink jacket, I went extra large. It is the equivalent of a 2X. So I got to figure it out. I did order a purple one lately. I got a purple one on the way.
Well, if it fades, it'll look more pink, maybe, or wash it with something red, maybe. But speaking for John too, actually just relaxing more this year, which is the fact, like I said, we spent 2 years renovating this house, so actually we're finally going to be able to enjoy it this year.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, and then the other goal would probably just be to, something like clip my toenails more or something. I don't know.
Well, absolutely. We all toenails more. Ranger Donald says nothing wrong with the 2Xers. No, nothing wrong with 2Xers. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like when you're not a 2Xer and a 2Xer jacket shows up, you look like David Byrne in the Talking Heads video, and it just doesn't work. So I got to get a new pink denim jacket. Bador is here. Like I said, we always love Bador around these parts. She says though, I didn't realize he was live. Bador, I am now live every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific. Right here. And Bador also rated us here, so we appreciate that. Thank you, Bador. And resubbed. Bador's subscribed for 43 straight months. I don't know what I did to deserve that kind of attention from any of you, but especially the wonderful Bador. Go follow her Twitch channel as well.
I'll never catch up with her.
You never, who knows? Maybe she'll stop 1 month, but she's always there. Bador is absolutely the best. And now that I've met her in person, I can confirm she is truly the best. Johnny M's pretty good too. Old Handsaw as well. Gentlemen, any final thoughts here before I let you go? And by the way, Old Handsaw, I am very happy that you got brave enough to sit behind that fake fire and those fake fish.
It's getting a little cold though, isn't it? It's like it's going down.
Yeah, I have. Before I drop, I have a quick recommendation for Handsaw.
What's that?
To help him relax. I feel like you really need a hammock, like just to complete everything.
Well, I cut down all the trees this year.
Well, we can get like you're talking about like a broadcast hammock. That'd be kind of good.
Like a broadcast one, or like a standalone, like one that you can buy them that do it on its own. You don't need trees.
Love it. Yeah.
Well, I do have a nice little chair over here, so
that'll work. All right, gentlemen.
The napper.
Old Handsaw is a professional napper like me. Gentlemen, always fun. Thank you so much for popping in. And again, we'll take live calls every week. Been monitoring the live chat for questions as well. Appreciate it all. So you guys can stick around. We can talk after if you want, but I'm going to start bringing the show home here. Ken Goes Live is live every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time here on twitch.tv/Ken Napzok, uploaded later to YouTube. And I am recording the audio versions. Aaron the author's busy working. She's here. Aaron, if you showed up, you better show up with that link to pre-order your novel. You better drop that in here. Abernathy's here. Hey, what's up? I also am trying to get back to regular streaming of the video games. Tuesday night seems to be working. Very hard for me to commit to an actual video game streaming schedule because I have to do it kind of when I have the living room to myself out of respect for my partner. So, excuse me. So, but we have been having a lot of fun playing Red Dead Redemption online with all of you there. So we are almost out of here. As I said before, if you want to listen to takes on Star Wars, love sharing with those with you over on Force Center. We do have an active YouTube channel. We upload audio versions of the show thanks to our podcast provider, Acast, which does that automatically now. Really helped with the workflow. Loved episode 1. Really loved it. A lot of stuff in there as well. Saturday Night Napzok will be back. If you subscribe to that, the Saturday Night Napzok on the Napzok Files podcast feed. Give that a sub. And then Pop Rockin' Radio, my radio show on Mixcloud, working on a playlist for this week. I expect very soon I'll have a lot of Sparks recommendations and requests from Old Handsaw to play on the show. Final thing, I didn't know if I was going to talk about this. I'll talk about this a little bit. I don't necessarily feel I have all the permission to talk about this, but I just wanted to dedicate this show to a friend who just passed away this weekend, and I just found out about it. His name was Zachary, and he was a listener. And he had tweeted out something nice late one night when I was kind of feeling down. And he tweeted something nice about Force Center and how he really appreciated the programming and found it to be uplifting and inspirational while he was battling a rare form of cancer. And I'd just been feeling down, and I saw that. And so I actually reached out to him. I actually DM'd him, and we struck up a friendship, an online distant friendship. And actually at one point, it's about 2 years ago, early 2020. And we always would check in. We'd always talk. He sent me a wood carving that I still have in my garage gym. And I wouldn't hear from him for a while, and things would get good. He had things would get good, things would get bad. And he had a GoFundMe constantly, updating. He and his wife had to quit and leave their entire lives and move to Atlanta so he could fight this. And sad to report that my friend Zachary lost that battle. And that's so weird to say. I hate to say battle, and losing battles. It's not about that. He passed away. And he was a brilliant, beautiful soul. And there's a Force Center episode. I'll tweet out that episode. But we had a great conversation about the inspirations he took from all of Star Wars, but particularly from Luke's story in The Last Jedi, and how he would take that into every chemotherapy session, every doctor session, every doctor appointment. And sometimes you get horrible news, and sometimes you get great, miraculous news. And his brother reached out to me just today to let me know that a couple of days ago he passed away. And I just wanted to dedicate it to him. Probably not the last I'll talk to him. And again, I want to make sure I have full confidence from the family to address anything before I put it too much online. But it was a reminder. It was a tough life. He had been fighting this for a while, but also a beautiful life. And to hear his inspiration that he'd take from things and the outlook he had on it, and the peace he had on what was going on with him was impressive and amazing. And it does tie it into what I was talking about today, the stuff with the documentaries. It seems so on the surface, watching rock stars and pop stars and artists do their thing, but it's something that it can apply to all of us, about being our best self, being a better self, and changing and growing and moving forward, and finding what we truly want to do and what we truly want to be in this world. And our time here is so short. And I just to my pal Zachary, I'm honored that you took the time to let me into your world, and I'm going to carry that forward. So out there, all of you, as we head to a new year and we start finding goals and start talking about what we want to do with ourselves, let's make it impactful, and let's really let's make a difference in everyone's life. Let's be nice, lead with empathy, and I think we'll all find our way out of this into a better spot, a better version of ourselves. Thanks for listening to Ken Goes Live. We'll be back next week. Maybe some silly jokes, maybe some stupid things. Maybe I'll see how many donuts I can eat on air before I pass out with a sugar crash. I don't know. But today, this one's for you, Zachary. We'll see you all down the line.